In July 2023, 5 family members sat down for lunch at this house in rural Victoria. Just days later, 3 of them were dead, and 1 was in a coma. Prosecutors said their host that day, Erin Patterson, had invited them under the pretense of discussing a fake cancer diagnosis. Now we know she planned to murder her guests by putting poisonous death cap mushrooms in the beef Wellington she had served to them. Her victims were all related to her estranged husband. His parents, Don and Gail Patterson, and his aunt Heather Wilkinson, all died after the lunch. Only Heather's husband Ian, a local pastor, survived. In the days after their deaths, Erin Patterson broke down in front of the cameras that had assembled at her house.
Gail's never been anything but good and kind to me. And Ian and Heather were some of the best people I've ever met. They never did anything wrong to me, and I'm so devastated.
She claimed it had all been a terrible accident, but the jury in her trial decided otherwise. They had heard the evidence pointing to her guilt. The prosecution said she used a science website to find deadly death cap mushrooms. 2 users posted on the site about the mushrooms being in the towns of Lock and Outram. Her phone records suggested she then visited both. They claimed she had foraged for the mushrooms and then measured out a fatal dose on her kitchen scales. Her estranged husband, Simon Patterson, whose parents and aunt were murdered, testified in court saying his relationship with Erin Patterson had become increasingly strained. He didn't attend the lunch, something that had disappointed her. In text messages between the two before the meal, she said, "I wanted it to be a special meal. It's important to me that you're all there tomorrow." The court also heard from the one survivor, Ian Wilkinson. He said he and the other 3 victims were given beef Wellingtons on grey plates. Erin Patterson, meanwhile, the only one to eat her food from an orange-coloured plate. But when Patterson took to the stand, her defence began to crumble as the series of lies she had told were exposed. She accepted that some of the mushrooms used in the beef Wellington may have been foraged, and said she had disposed of her food dehydrator that was found to contain death cap mushrooms because she was scared that she would get the blame for making her guests sick. She admitted she had wiped one of her phones after panicking that it contained photos of mushrooms and the dehydrator, and said she was ashamed of expletive-filled messages she had sent to a Facebook group chat in 2022 about her parents-in-law.
It's the lethal lunch that's captivated a nation.
For more than 2 months, this trial has gripped Australia.
There's been a stunning development in the mushroom murder case.
Often leading the nightly news and dissected in podcasts dedicated to the details of the case.
Getting close to the end.
Now Erin Patterson awaits her sentence. The triple murder she committed, already one of the most notorious crimes in the country's history. Fred Dimbleby, ITV News.